After yesterday's finale against the Mets, the Diamondbacks are starting to show what made them so special last year, even after selling some of their best players at the deadline. The bottom of the order. And it's in the nick of time, too, as our Silver Sluggers and our future Hall of Famers are doing absolutely nada.
You are Locked On Diamondbacks, your daily Arizona Diamondbacks podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up? I'm Daynen Biggs. I'll be honest with this Diamondback team. I am super happy with how the game went yesterday, how the series as a whole went. We will be talking about the game and the series today. We're going to be recapping all that. We're also going to be looking forward to the Phillies series that is starting today. But we need to talk about something very serious, and that is a potential restructuring of the entire lineup. Now, I understand that this isn't likely to happen, but I feel like it maybe should. The Diamondbacks are now a few weeks into the season, and we are showing some guys that are really taking strides forward, and we have guys that are not moving forward, and it's starting to show. Now, you know me, if you've been listening to the show, I'm very optimistic. I like to, I give people the chance, and I still think that. I'm not here totally doom and gloom and we need to be cutting people and everything like that. But let's go ahead and take a look at just my honest feelings and thoughts thus far. These can change, they likely will. But right now, our guys at the bottom of the order are doing an incredible job getting on base, making things happen, making the pitchers work, and expose finding the errors, not even the errors, but finding the slight mistakes of the pitchers, especially as their pitch counts go up. They're taking advantage of those moments and they're making offense happen. Our top of the order, not so much. Now, Corbin Carroll, granted, top of the order, second, batting second pretty much every game, has been doing a really good job lately, has been doing excellently. So I guess I'm really not factoring him in there, though he didn't do anything yesterday because he wasn't in the game yesterday. But Marte and Perdomo, and then guys like Arenado, Santana, are guys who have more experience, aren't doing anything. Alec Thomas, not really doing anything. Guys that we were kind of hoping would really bring the energy, bring the heat, are not showing up. And so if I had to completely restructure the lineup, the batting order, here's what I would do. Now, again, I just threw this together based off of as a fan who's been watching the games, following the stats and everything like that. Here's what I would do. Right now, Ketel Marte is the leadoff batter. I don't think that's a good spot for him right now. Maybe when he is maybe when his pitch selection improves or he's able to see the ball better. But right now, he's not seeing the ball at all. He's not making wise swinging decisions. So instead, who should be leading off the games should be somebody like Ildemaro Vargas, somebody who's making a lot of contact, somebody who's getting on base a lot, not necessarily somebody who's hitting for power or anything like that, but somebody who's reliably able to make a good at-bat and get on base. Ildemaro Vargas is doing exactly that. So I think he'd be a great leadoff guy. Number 2 guy, Gabby Moreno. I think he would be excellent. He would be the guy to move things along. He's shown that he's got a really good ability to barrel the ball, get extra base hits, not necessarily home runs, but you think guy who can get on base followed by a guy who can get on base and also get extra base hits. That gets things moving. And then who do you have in your 3 spot? Right now, it's got to go to Corbin Carroll. He's got doubles, he's got triples, he's got home runs. He is kicking butt, and his batting average is really good. He's not striking out a ton. The guy is looking like an amazing power hitter and just overall offensive unit. He's your 3-hole guy. And then after that, then you throw in Ketel Marte, somebody who's got a ton of power, somebody who maybe is more strikeout prone, but Marte kind of fits the vibe for a 4-hole hitter, a cleanup guy. That's kind of the position that he fits into the best right now. You don't want that. I would much rather he be a leadoff guy or a 3-hole guy. But he just isn't showing that he can do that right now. So Ketel Marte, I think, goes in 4th. After that, you get Nolan Arenado. I don't know. You have to put it in somewhere unless we're cutting Nolan Arenado, which I don't see happening at all. He's got to go in there. I think this is the spot to put him in. After him, you put in Alek Thomas. After that, you go with somebody like Jorge Barrosa or Tim Tawa. And then after them, now here's the part. I think the Diamondbacks have correctly utilized the bottom of the lineup in a way that other teams aren't. They're understanding that the bottom of the lineup sets up the top of the lineup. The problem is the bottom of the lineup guys are setting it up. Top of the lineup is not capitalizing on it. So we've moved a lot of those guys up to the top. And so now who do we trust to be our 7, 8, 9 hitters? Well, yeah, Barrosa, Tawa. Barrosa literally only hits extra base hits, and he hits fairly often. So he's doing pretty well. Tim Tawa, slow start, but he is showing progress. And I think he'd be I think he'd fit well in that spot. And then in the number 8 spot, I think Jose Fernandez or Del Castillo, somebody who can get on base and can get on base when other people aren't able to, really. Somebody who can be clutch, somebody who can get a rally going. That's what those guys are. And then in the number 9 spot, I think you put Geraldo Perdomo. I understand that would kind of look like a downgrade or a demotion, but Perdomo thrived in that spot before. Maybe he needs to go back to that spot and kind of get his groove back. I don't know, but be in a position where he doesn't have to go and get an extra base hit every time. He's not trying to hit home runs. He's not trying to get things, get things going, 2-out rallies going or anything like that. Just a guy who's, listen, your job is to get on base and then set up the next guy. That's all you have to do. I don't know. I think that's just kind of what my gut is telling me. I don't believe this will actually happen. Like I said, I just think this would be the best way to go. Anyway, you also have Santana and McCann. I think you just need to have them bat as little as possible. Neither one of them has shown that they can hit the ball in any sort of reliable manner. I understand that there will be rare instances where they do. James McCann shows that he is able to knock a home run every once in a while. He is able to get an extra base hit from time to time. Santana, I think he's gotten 2 hits this year. But yeah, no, I think you need to keep them off of the field as often as possible, which isn't going to happen all the time. Obviously, the depth is reliable, and so they provide that depth. I understand that. Put them in somewhere in the Arenado Thomas area in the 5 or 6 spot, and there you go. I don't know. That's tough, but I do think that maybe trying out some new batting orders could be beneficial. And yesterday, Corbin Carroll's out in the number 2 spot. So who do you put in? Well, you put in the guy who's usually at the bottom of the lineup, Ildemaro Vargas, and he does a great job. And he did do a great job. So I don't know. Maybe that's something to explore. I understand that there are roles that have been assigned, and just to move things around like that could be difficult. It could be hard on the locker room. I understand there's a lot more to it than just swapping, but that's my thought. That's my uneducated, sort of educated take. But let's go ahead and talk about this Mets game that happened yesterday. Let's talk about the series as a whole, because there is a lot of good signs in here. There's still a lot of things that are issues that need to be addressed. So let's break those down and see what we see. It's tax time, but for a lot of us, the old way of doing taxes is a lot. Trying to book an appointment that's not the most convenient, sitting in a waiting room with stacks of papers, emailing back and forth, wondering if they really get your situation. But this year, you're getting a major upgrade. Intuit TurboTax now has in-person locations nationwide. You can meet face-to-face with a real tax expert, and your documents get uploaded straight to your TurboTax app on the spot. And just like that, you're done. Your TurboTax expert works to get you every dollar you deserve while you get real-time notifications as you go about your day. It's the relief of walking in and meeting a real person and walking out knowing your taxes are being handled right. Head to turbotax.com/local to find a store near you and book your appointment. And we're back. And I want to say, as always, thank you so much for making Locked On Diamondbacks your first listen of the day. We are back. I said this many times, so I understand if you're skeptical, but we are back to doing the daily show. Work and things like that have prevented us from doing this on the daily. That work has been now I'm making it sound like I got fired or something. I haven't gotten fired or anything, but the work is such that it will be much easier. And thanks to Tate, my co-producer, who is actually not here at the moment, but usually when you hear a voice off on the side, that's my brother Tate. Thanks to him, we're able to we're making it happen. So we'll be back to the daily show. And so thank you so much for sticking around and for making this your first listen of the day. Also, don't forget to go check out the Everydayer Club for ad-free episodes and access to a group chat with me and other listeners of the show. You can find that link in the show notes, or you can just go to lockedondiamondbacks.supercast.com. So the Mets series, we won a series without sweeping the series. So it's a first. This is the first time we've won the series. We've won a series without sweeping it. I don't know if that's something to be proud of, but we did. The game one, obviously we lost that one in extras 4-3. And then game two ran away with the win 7-2. And then yesterday, did I say yesterday twice? Game two, and then game three yesterday, another 7-run game, this time 7-1. So what is the takeaway? Actually, let's go ahead and talk about the game yesterday specifically, just because it's fresh on the mind, right? So the Diamondbacks offense really struggled against McLean. Tate wrote it phonetically for me somewhere, but I don't know where it is. McLean, which he is a very promising young pitcher who has got some really good stuff. And boy, did we see that in effect yesterday. He has some really good stuff. He's very hard to hit. And when you do hit him, it's a ground ball. Like it was almost comical how many outs were a result of a ground ball. It was crazy. The only one who was really able to barrel anything against him for the first 5-6 innings was Jose Fernandez, who got a double off of him at one point. Stranded that double. We weren't able to make anything of it, but there we go. Luckily, Eduardo Rodriguez showed up, and boy, did he show up. Made us a little bit nervous because in the first inning, he did give up a solo home run to Luis Robert Jr., which was one of those home runs that just happens, you know. Tarek Skubal gives up a solo home run, and that ended up, winning the game for us when Carroll hit a home run. And then that was it. He was perfect other than that, pretty much. And that's pretty much the story with Eduardo Rodriguez. One pitch got barreled, and that gave him a point. And then he was excellent throughout the remainder of the outing. So Eduardo Rodriguez does not appear to be on a Linsanity run. He appears to be doing very, very well this season. He gave up 5 hits in 6 innings, 1 run on that home run. He only walked 2 batters, and he did only have 3 strikeouts. He's not really much of a strikeout guy. He's more of an induce a pop-up or a ground out kind of guy, but that is extremely valuable. So Eduardo Rodriguez, man, he is really, really killing it. He's kind of making me hope that we re-sign him after this season because he has been doing excellent. And if he continues this, if he's able to do this throughout the entire year, then, I mean, yeah, we got something really good. And then the rest of the pitching did very well also. Taylor Clark came in for an inning. He gave up a single hit, but got through the inning perfectly. And then I keep saying perfectly. Perfect means no hits, no walks, right? So I'm not perfectly, I guess I should say, but got through it clean, I guess. Shut them out that inning. I don't know what phrase I should be using there, but let me know in the comments. And then Taylor Rashi came in for his second game of the season, pitched 2 innings, got 3 strikeouts, 0 hits, 0 walks. He was perfect, and finished the game very strong for our pitching. 6 hits total from our pitchers. One of those was the home run. 6 strikeouts, only 2 walks. You gotta love it. Excellent pitching. That's what we've been seeing from our pitching all series. So that's very promising. Such a relief to be like, wow, our pitchers are actually pretty all right. Like, they're not even just average. They're pretty darn okay. So that's fun. I like to see that. And I really, really hope that continues. Especially as we add Merrill Kelly and then Corbin Burns, AJ Puck, Justin Martin. As we start adding these guys back, if we're able to build on that and we don't have like this big regression, oh man, we might be in store for something really great. Anyway, offensively, the Diamondbacks, I mean, this pitcher, McLean, this guy went deep into this game. He went into the 7th inning, and like his pitch count was low. Like Eduardo Rodriguez came out after the 5th because he nearly had 100 pitches. McLean, I think it was at like 85 when he came out in the 7th. But he started out the 7th walking Geraldo Perdomo. It was a very well worked at bat. Adrian Del Castillo struck out, but then Jose Fernandez singled, and that was the end for McLean. They pulled McLean, put in Luke Weaver, who did very well against us in game 1. But his first batter was Gabriel Moreno, who pinch hit for James McCann. Thank goodness. And he comes in and smacks a double, scores a run to tie the game. Then Alek Thomas comes in and hits a ball in hits it right to first base. But Jose Fernandez, who's on third, bolts to home to score. And excellent base running, excellent slide from Jose Fernandez, beats out the throw and scores. We get the lead. So now Alek Thomas reaches on a fielder's choice. Tawa hits a sac fly to score Moreno, who was now on third. So now it's 3-1. And then Jorge Barosa hits his, I want to get this right, his 5th hit of the season, and 5th hit of the season, and 5th extra base hit of the season. It's actually kind of getting a little absurd. This time, though, it was not a double. It was a triple. He clears he scores Alek Thomas. It's now 4-1. And then up comes Ketel Marte with a guy on third. Oh boy, he gets out. So there we go. Kind of what I was saying before. We get to the top of the order to end an inning. It's just, I don't know. That's crazy. Anyway, then the very next inning, Luke Weaver comes out. Luis Garcia comes in to pitch to the Dbacks. Very first batter, Vargas doubles. Perdomo draws another walk. Adrian Del Castillo doubles and scores a run. It's now 5-1. Jose Fernandez hits a ground out RBI. 6-1. Gabriel Moreno comes in, hits his second double, scoring yet another run. So Gabriel Moreno comes in, goes 2 for 2 with 2 RBI doubles. What a stud. Anyway, then Alek Thomas and Tim Tawa got out. But anyway, and then the 9th was clean. But the Diamondbacks took advantage of this is kind of what I'm talking about. The Diamondbacks were not able to make anything happen with this pitcher for the longest time. But then when he started to slow up, when he started to make mistakes, they pounced on it. Had Perdomo walked and they just start swinging at bad pitches, they ground out, double played, inning over, then that's what happens all the time, I feel like. But lately, the last, handful of games this season, the Diamondbacks seem to be improving on that. Not this season, I should say, because they have been not very good at it. It feels like this is an adjustment they made in the last week or so, is they pounced on that opportunity and not only tied the game, but got the lead and got a pretty sizable lead. And then were able to ride that momentum into the very next inning to extend that lead even more. They didn't need that extra lead, but that's what a really good baseball team looks like, is one that's able to be trailing for a full game and to still come out on top and then to just keep piling on. Excellent baseball right there. So very good game 3. We win the game 7-1. Game 2 was 7-2. We talked about this pretty extensively the other day. Corbin Carroll, phenomenal outing. Ketel Marte got an RBI single as well. Jose Fernandez went 2 for 4. Really good stuff. And Ryan Nelson got his first win Very well deserved first win. Going into the 6th inning, I think good on Torey Lovello for pulling him when it started to look like he was getting ready to unravel. Got him out just at the right time. He did give up 1 run on a few hits, but that was it. So really good outing from the Diamondbacks there. And then I do want to point out the loss that we had in game 1. Again, it wasn't like a blowout loss or anything. It was 3-4. It was in extras. Jonathan Loaisiga ended up blowing the lead, and we ended up tied by in the bottom of the 8th, which led to the extra innings. Paul Sewald did give up the game-winning hit. But again, I don't necessarily look at that as like, oh man, Jonathan Loaisiga and Paul Sewald suck. I see that as, yeah, that was not great, but it would be nice if the offense could have, given them a little bit more of a buffer, because we were playing. I mean, we were down 2-0 after the 2nd inning against the Mets. Gallen was pitching, had a really good outing, did struggle a bit in the 1st and 2nd inning, but after that, he looked good. Only gave up 5 hits throughout all 5 innings. So good looking stuff. And then the Diamondbacks score 3 in the 5th, in the top of the 5th. So we take the lead, but then there was nothing left after that. There were plenty of opportunities. There was an opportunity in the 2nd. There was an opportunity in the 6th, I believe, or the 7th. The 7th, it looks like. There were all these opportunities to keep piling on the runs, and they didn't. And that was when we're like, okay, something's not right here. And it seems like that is something that they really took to heart, that maybe this was something that was said in the locker room or whatever, but they seemed to fix that so that there wasn't this 1-run opportunity again. So really good stuff. I mean, honestly, a great series overall. Not perfect. Perfect would have been a win in game 1, but I'm not going to complain too much. That's not too bad. If we can do this throughout the entire year, just win series. That's series. That's what we got to do. So excited, looking forward to this next series, which we're going to talk about actually right now against our 3-game series against the Phillies in Philadelphia. So let's go ahead and talk about that right now. Workplace chaos, deadline stacking up, inbox overflowing, and the one position you still have to fill sitting open. Well, the pressure's on, and you need the right hire. This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for: skills, experience, location, so you're not just hoping the right candidate stumbles across your post. And here's a stat that says it all. In the minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours have made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results. When you need the right person to cut through the chaos, this is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And listeners of this show will get $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about us or heard about Indeed on the Locked On Diamondbacks podcast. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Now this next series against the Phillies is one that has me like nervous on paper, but the Phillies haven't exactly had a stellar start to their season. The Phillies are currently 6-6, which puts them at 4th in the NL East. We're 7-6. We're not much better, but that puts us at 2nd in the NL East. So we're doing all right. But looking at the Phillies stats, they are not a very high scoring team. The only time they have scored more than, or like the only time they've ever scored double digits is against the Rockies when they won once 10-0, but they've just got shut out by the Giants in their last 2 games, 0-6 and 0-5. They did win against them in game 1, 6-4, but it looks like the majority of their games 1, 2, 3, 4 for this month, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of their 12 games they've scored 5 runs or less, which we're not much better. We're not scoring a ton. We haven't scored a ton as of now either. But they also give up a lot of runs. Most of our losses are in like 1-run games or close game, either run game or like a total blowout. But there's a lot of like 5-0, 6-0, 4-1. So so it looks like if we can hold their offense down, if our pitching can continue to be at the level that it's been, then this shouldn't be too terribly hard, especially if we're able to take advantage, or if our offense can continue to show up the way it has the last couple games. Now, I feel kind of silly because I'm like, I feel like I'm falling into that stereotype of like, our team loses, this is the worst team ever, blow it up, nuke it, whatever, and then we win the next game and we go, we're the best team in the world, we're going to the World Series. I feel a little bit silly about that, but it is, I mean, and I feel like even when we lose, I feel like I have a fairly optimistic outlook of things, so this isn't too weird. But anyway, the game today likely will be Michael Soroka versus Jesus Luzardo. Luzardo has 2 games that he's pitched, and he has an ERA just under 5. He's 1-1, but he has 18 strikeouts in 12 innings. So he is quite the strikeout pitcher, a whip under 1 of 0.95. So really good looking stuff from him, but that ERA is pretty high up there. He has given up 2 home runs, which contribute to those 7 earned runs that he's given up. He only has 1 walk on the season so far, so don't expect to see a lot of walks from him. He has given up 11 hits in those 12 innings. So probably what it would appear is a lot of extra base hits, home runs, things like that. So we'll see how we can do against him. But Michael Soroka, again, he's only given up 1 run this entire season, in 2 games. He's pitched 5 innings in each of his outings, and given up 1 earned run, no home runs yet, only 8 hits in 10 innings, and his whip is 1.20. He has given up a few walks, 4 to be exact, so he will walk a bit more, but he is 2-0, and it's kind of hard to argue against that kind of record. But Michael Soroka, again, like I've mentioned this before, he doesn't pass the eye test with quite as flying colors as like Eduardo Rodriguez does. So we'll see exactly how that goes. But on paper, this should be a pretty good, a pretty favorable game for the Dbacks. So we'll see how that goes. Game 2 will be likely Brandon Pfaadt and Taijuan Walker. Taijuan Walker is 0 for 2 on the season with an ERA over 9. He has pitched nearly 10 innings, 9.2 innings, only has 6 strikeouts, and has a whip of 2.28. He has been struggling this season. He's given up 17 hits, 10 runs, but only 3 are earned runs. So anyway, interesting. So so not looking super hot so far. 5 walks, 6 intentional walks. Interesting. So we'll see how he does. I think he played against the Dodgers, I think is what it was, and there was a game where he got blown up there. So so not quite as bad, I think, as that looks, but Brandon Pfaadt, if he's able to go out there and kind of make the adjustments that Ryan Nelson made, hopefully, he's able to make mid-inning adjustments so that if he feels like the Phillies hitters are kind of seeing what he's doing, he's able to adjust and get out of that inning and then regroup and reassess. That'll be vital for Brandon Pfaadt to get the win in that game. And then the game 3 is likely to be Zach Gallen and Andrew Painter. Andrew Painter is a brand spanking new pitcher. This is his first season. He's pitched in 9 innings, has an ERA of 4.82, which basically equals 5 runs in 9 innings. He's issued a few walks, 9 strikeouts in those 9 innings, so that's pretty good. But 13 hits. So if that ends up being the case, 6'7", by the way, holy smokes! Bet the kids love him. But if Zach Gallen shows up and is able to be Zach Gallen, then that should be a pretty good outing. But I think, I mean, strange enough, I'm less worried about the pitching in this series. I think the pitching is going to be fine. There may be, an a not good inning with any of these pitchers, but for the most part, I'm feeling pretty confident in our pitchers. The big question mark is, are our hitters going to show up? Are we going to be able to get hits off of these guys? Are we going to be able to carve these guys up? Are we going to be able to take advantage of the moments that these guys give us? Because they are going to give us moments. There's going to be a moment where we get a leadoff base hit or a leadoff walk, or there's a 2-out double. Because you get a 2-out double, all you need is a single, and boom, you got to run, But it seems like whenever there's 2 outs, the Diamondbacks go, or, the teams go, well, 2 outs, cool, a double, but whatever. If the Diamondbacks can execute on those moments, then they're going to win a lot of ball games, and they're going to win this series, and they're going to do great. If they can't, then they're just relying on their pitching to shut out the other team, and we're going to be happy with the 1 run we get because Corbin Carroll hit a solo home run at one point. Then it's going to be a rough one. But it looks like the Diamondbacks are making steps in the right direction, and this series is going to be very telling about if that will continue. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following along. Be sure to follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Locked On Diamondbacks. We're on YouTube as well as every other place you get your podcasts. If you want to see more of me, you can find more of my YouTube channels and projects at my website, slackshack.tv. If you never miss an episode, remember, the Everydayer Club is built for you. Get Locked On Diamondbacks ad-free, plus members-only Discord access and more. Head to lockedondiamondbacks.supercast.com to join the club. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.